G'day everyone, today we are taking a look at the new quarter sheet sander from Makita. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. The model number is the DBO480. Now there is also a DBO481 and a DBO482, and the attachments and accessories in different parts of the world seem to be different. This is of course an 18 volt LXT tool, it's not an XGT. And in New Zealand it comes with the following. It comes with the quarter sheet pad you can see attached to it there. It comes with this odd looking rectangular slash triangular sort of pad going on there. It comes with something to stamp holes for the dust in your sandpaper. It comes with a solid dust collector, and it comes with 3 bags of sanding papers. So if you want the rectangular pad here, you will have to buy it as an optional accessory. I might try and get one before the end of the video, just so I can show you what it looks like and how it works and the different options that you get with that pad that you don't get with the 1/4 inch one. They're kind of similar to what you get with this triangular one, which as you can see has a square base. It's a bit odd shaped. It's not sort of the standard sort of that shape that you often see for detail sanders. You know, it's quite different to that. It's hook and loop all over this side. It hasn't been finished the nicest. There's sort of little wrinkles and stuff in here because they've tried to get the dust extraction right from out at the tip. This sticks out the front quite a long way from the tool, which you'll see when I put it on there. And yeah, they're trying to get the dust collection. It doesn't look like there's much of a groove depth wise through there, so it'll be interesting to see if that does much at all. It has the hook and loop style system not only on this side but also on this side. So we'll have a look at why that is later, and I'm pretty sure the rectangular pad does that as well. Now this bit may surprise you, it is actually a brushed tool, just like the 5-inch random orbital sander which has been out for quite some time, and not brushless like the new 3rd sheet sander. But before you think, oh hell with that, I'm going to go and grab the Milwaukee then. Well, the brand new Milwaukee is also brushed, and I can't actually find any quarter sheet sanders that aren't brushed still. So if you know of any cordless, brushless quarter sheet sanders, you know where to let me know. Comes with a dozen different sanding papers, which will just attach with the hook and loop system like that. Oof, done, ready to go. But you'll also notice there are clamps on the tool also, so you can clamp paper on. If you've got a roll of sandpaper, conveniently enough, it's the same width, so you can put it on like this. Jam that up under there, get in there, bugger, and clamp it down. And there we go, no need for the hook and loop, but we now have no holes in it. And here we go, punch plate time. You put that over the top of your sandpaper on your base plate here. Push down on it, it should line up with the holes in the base. Prick, prick, prick. That's how you punch your holes. And away you go. Now speaking of away you go, I've got a rather hefty shelf I need sanded right now. It's a bit of old Vitex. It has some water stains on it and some, you know, some marks from just being old. So I'm going to try and clean that up with this fella. And I think I'll start with a 60 grit sheet that came with the tool. Unlike the 5-inch random orbital sander and the 3rd sheet sander, that both come with 3 different speed settings, this one only has the 2. So we've got 14,000 orbits per minute and 11,000 per minute, which I think is the same as the new Milwaukee. I have the tool hooked up to the 40 volt vac. Unfortunately it doesn't have AWS, but we'll see how good the suction is on this thing. And first up I'm going to give it a real tough test, and I'm going to just see if it can suck up all this loose sawdust just sitting here. For a finishing sander with some 60 grit on it, that came up pretty good and pretty quick really, considering some of the staining is fairly deep. You can still see a line through here, but this bit here, if you look at, hasn't been sanded. You can see it's much darker and much rougher. I'll sort that out in a moment. But yeah, it's pretty good. And that dust extraction was super good. Size wise, these two are pretty close. Obviously the third sheet is a bit bigger. I have a brand new 60 grit sanding sheet on each of these three tools. Unfortunately one of them is aluminium oxide and the other two are aluminium with zinc, so they're slightly different. But we're going to run these for 1 minute each on this piece of wood here. I've got a heap of old wood I want to prepare, so we're just going to see how much difference it makes after 1 minute of sanding with 60 grit. Okay, we have a clear winner for the amount of material removed. So first up, here is the quarter sheet and what it's sanded. The 5-inch and what it's sanded. And the third sheet and what it's sanded. So, the third sheet sander, by far the most sanded. Third sheet, 5-inch random orbital, and the quarter sheet. So the quarter sheet did the least, but what other tricks has this thing got up its sleeve? I have managed to procure the rectangular pad from Makita. Now this may or may not come in the box with your sander depending on which model you get and which country you live in. That also goes for the triangular one. So I will put some links, if I can find them, down in the description where you can buy one of these or find out more info. Now if you get the 482, I do believe this area here, this plate and the surrounding area here is made of aluminium rather than plastic like this one is. And if you've got the 481, then the standard square pad like this will not have the hook and loop on it. It will just be solid for using the clamps on the tool. If you've ever tried to sand between grooves, between boards, you'll know how much of a pain that is. But with the triangle one, we have Velcro on the top and bottom, so we can, oh, not quite fit. What about if we try the rectangle? She's a bit thinner. And look at that, through it goes. You probably only get one sheet of paper on there, but if that gap was a bit bigger, you could have one on each side of that too. If you want to sand inside a rebate or some sort of recess, you can fold the sandpaper over like so, because it's got Velcro on both sides, and that way you can get into a groove and sand it with this edge. That's pretty cool. You can also do a similar thing with the rectangular pad. Look at that, double-sided baby. I'm going to change pads now and see if I can get in here and try and tidy up some of these fluffy grooves. Don't want fluffy grooves. What do you reckon? Can you do that with your sander? Looks a bit odd, but let's see if it'll do the trick. Too easy. Too easy. What I really love though about being able to put the sanding paper on top of the pad is that you can go underneath the edge of something. Like this bench here, sand under there, without having to get down underneath and push up, which is always a right bastard on the arm trying to push up from underneath like that. Whereas if you can just hold it like this and just go along, I mean that, so much easier. So there you have it, that's the DBO480 from Makita, the quarter sheet sander. Now I know a lot of you are wanting to know what this connection is that goes on here so that you can hook this up to your vac. Well, there'll be links down in the description, hopefully I can find them. and there'll be links for this if I can find that as well. This tool's pretty new around the world, but hopefully I can find some links to that too, and I'll stick them all down in the description. So it's a nice little sander. Ergonomically, it's nicely designed, feels good in the hand. It's got lots of cool little features, which, except I don't kind of like this. You know, you got this bit here that it's always not sort of, yeah, anyway, picky. It's a nice little sander, but if you want to remove lots of material, this is not really the tool for you. If you want to know which Makita Cordless sander removes the most material, well, that is the third sheet at the moment. There is, of course, the random orbital and the cute little belt sander, file sander, whatever you want to call that one. So Makita now getting a decent sort of range of sanders in the 18 volt platform. Still no 40 volt sanders yet, hopefully not too far away. And wouldn't it be nice, Makita, if I'd love the first 40 volt sander to be a belt sander, and not a 3-inch like some other brands do, but a good old-fashioned 4-inch belt sander. Wouldn't that be awesome? 40 volt 4-inch belt sander. That's my challenge to you, Makita. Remember, this is just a fine finishing sander. It's not designed to remove a ton of material. It's designed to get a finish ready to paint, that sort of thing, get into corners, get into awkward places, and it is great for getting into awkward places. Anyway, that's another review done and dusted. I do tons of Makita reviews if you didn't already know, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, gives me a bit of a hand too, you know. And I'll see you on another one next week. Probably another Makita one. Who knows? Might not be. Cheers guys, see you later.